Good morning, everyone. I'm Tricia Brock. Welcome to Yoga from the Park. We are going to do a little fun, simple sequence today. Just let go of any expectations. Allow yourself to experience the poses as they present themselves. Allow yourself to smile and have a little fun. Don't take it too seriously. So we're going to start in child's pose just because that's a great way to begin and a way to kind of let go of the world around you and draw yourself inward and begin to think about you. So let's take a wide knee one. Bring your big toes together at the back of your mat, your knees wide to the side, and just set back and then exhale as you walk your hands forward and just let yourself fold in. Maybe rock side to side a little bit and then find some stillness. And slowly walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. And if it's available, stack the right hand on the left and then once again settle in. And take a moment, press into the hands, reaching the hips back. Beginning to open the side body. And slowly walk your hands over to the other side. Stacking the left on the right. Once again, settling in. Just let your breath spread your ribs nice and wide. And come back to the middle. In the middle, press into the hands, reach your hips back as far as you can, and then kind of anchor them there and walk the fingertips forward. Drawing a little more space in the spine, a little more length. And then slowly sit back onto the heels. Just draw your hands in, draw your knees in. Roll your shoulders back, sit them down onto your rib cage, and close your eyes or soften your gaze for a couple breaths. And then we're going to flow just a little bit this morning. So with your next inhale, come up onto your knees. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Just find some length. And then we're going to exhale, bring the hands back down beside you. Sit back onto the heels. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. Exhale, settle back into a child's pose. Inhale, come forward to all fours. Tuck your toes, and with your exhale, just a gentle downward facing dog. Nothing fancy, nothing solid. The knees can stay bent. And we're going to inhale, come right back to all fours. And exhale, uncurl the toes, sit back to child's pose. Inhale, come up onto the knees. Let's sweep our hands up and overhead. Exhale, this time one movement, sitting back to child's pose. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Just moving through the poses gently. Inhaling to all fours. Maybe beginning to let the belly drop a little bit here. And exhale, child's pose. One more time, inhaling, coming up onto the knees, sweep your arms out to the side and up overhead. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, all fours, and this time we'll stay here. So with your exhale, tip the tailbone down and roll through the spine, arching up through the shoulders for cat. And inhale, tailbone comes up, belly down, heart floats forward. And just begin to move back and forth in cat and cow. And think about each movement initiating from the tip of the tailbone and working its way inch by inch up to the crown of the head. And this is the perfect place to find a little rhythm to your breath. Each movement getting its own. And maybe you want to roll through the hips, reach into any tension that you're feeling. Or maybe you've got some tightness in the neck and the shoulders and you want to shake your head out. Just move into the tension and let it feel good. Couple more rounds right here. And then make your way back to neutral. Just that natural curve in the spine. We're going to turn our fingertips around to face our kneecaps. Take an inhale to lengthen your arms, and with your exhale, gently lean back over your heels. So we're reaching into the underside of the forearms, those little neglected areas of the body. One more breath. And then we'll release it, coming back up. Turn the fingertips back around, and it doesn't really matter how far they turn around, so don't worry about that. We're going to flip one hand over. Top of the hand to the mat, palm faces up, lengthen your arm, lean back again. So you're reaching into the top side of the forearm. And then switch sides. And then release it. From here, step the hands out just a little bit. We're going to come into our downward facing dog. So tuck your toes and lift the hips and knees, pressing. And go right ahead and pedal the heels. Just kind of warm up the legs, let them know that it's time to start moving. And then inhale, lift high onto the balls of both feet. We're going to pivot on the balls of the feet, taking our heels to the left, and then exhale, drop them back down. Reaching into the sides of the legs. Then inhale and lift back to the center. Pivot, and with the exhale, drop your heels to the other side. Inhale and lift to the center. And exhale, let those heels travel down towards the mat. Inhale, walk your feet up behind your hands, keeping some space between your feet. We're going to come to ragdoll pose, hands to opposite elbows. And just add a little bit of movement if it feels good, letting the weight of your head draw your spine long. Then release your hands to the mat, lengthen your legs, walk your hands in a little closer. And then walk them back out underneath your chest, just lengthening your spine a little bit. Soften the right knee, bring the right hand to the center, and we're going to inhale and slowly open up to the left. Let your eyes follow that top hand. And with your exhale, unwind. Hands coming back down, we'll switch sides. Softening the left knee, inhale, opens to the right. And exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, easy gazing pose, hands to the shins or the thighs, rolling the and exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Go ahead and roll through the spine, soften the knees, sweep it out to the sides and up overhead. And exhale, hands come down to your heart. Inhale, rise high. Exhale, palms together, pass through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, gazing. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. One more full cycle of breath right here. And then we're going to drop the knees down, draw the elbows in right beside us, and slowly lower all the way to the mat. Uncurl the toes, sweep the hands back, the hips. Lift the toes, locust pose. Feel free to separate the feet if that feels better. And if you like, you're welcome to interlace your fingers and add a little chest expansion. Keep the core strong from underneath to support your torso. Keep the neck neutral. And with your next exhale, gently release it back down to the mat. Push up, press back to downward facing dog. Take a moment in dog and just let your weight shift from side to side. Notice the hips swaying, feel the shoulder blades moving around on the back. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It should just feel kind of loose and good. Then reach the hips a little bit higher. And with your inhale, travel forward. Walk or step your feet up behind your hands. Exhaling as you bow down and forward fold. Inhale, gazing pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And at the top, take hold of the left wrist in the right hand, and exhale, take it to the side. Inhale to center, switching sides. Exhale, the other direction. Inhale to center, releasing the hands. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, rise high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gazing. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right foot back, left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen the front leg. Exhale, sink down in. And take just a moment, make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart from each other so you've got a nice solid foundation. Then plant the right hand down. Inhale, sweep open to the left. And exhale, unwind, bring that hand back down. Take just a moment, we're going to come in again. So with the next inhale, lengthen the front leg. Exhale, sink back in. Inhale, sweep open to the left. And then from here, we're going to reverse the pose. So we're going to take the top hand, pull it up and behind, and the front hand is going to lift over the top edge. So just get a nice stretch and an open sensation to the front side of the body. And with your next exhale, we're going to cartwheel those hands around and come to Warrior Two. So finding your Warrior Two, I'm going to just turn myself to an angle a little bit. Hips are more open, shoulders are relaxed on the rib cage. And we're going to move a little bit with our arms and our breath, just to kind of bring it all together and make sure everybody's breathing. So inhale, think about just kind of gathering up all the good energy around you, and exhale, drawing it into your body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And this time we're going to turn the palm. Okay, I'm going to turn just a little bit to the side so you can see what I'm doing, but we're just flowing between triangle and reverse triangle. So we'll take a couple more, just reaching up a long line, fingertips to toes, and then exhaling, coming right back down into your triangle. And inhale one more time up. And exhale, bring it down. And this time we'll hold it in the triangle pose just for a couple breaths. And how far in you want to come is completely up to you. Try to keep the spine long and the core engaged. And then with your next exhale, we're going to keep our arms where they are, but add that bend back in the front knee and walk our hand around to the front of the mat. Bring the top hand to your hip. We're going to go right into balancing half moon. I said we were going to have fun, and here we go. So with your next inhale, draw the back foot in just a little bit. And with your exhale, we're going to lift the back leg. Now maybe you want to keep the toes on the mat, that's fine. Maybe you want to lift somewhere in the middle. It's up to you. If it feels good, you can take the top hand up and over. Try to, don't fall. Try to keep that top hip open. Just a couple breaths anywhere along that path. And then we're going to bend the knee once again and step back to our Warrior Two. It's not so bad. From here, inhale, reach that left hand forward, take it up and over, reverse warrior. Exhale, sink a little deeper to the front knee bend. Inhale, up a little higher through the fingertips. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat. And then foot over behind the other hand and gently lower down to the mat. Okay, pigeon pose. I'm going to turn around once again just so I can face the camera. The front foot is flexed. The shin does not have to be parallel to the top of the mat. I want it to be comfortable and not too intense. And maybe this is where you stay. If this feels good and you're getting a stretch through the outside of the hip, maybe into the leg a little bit, that's great. If you want to come down to forearms, you are welcome to. But think about finding a little length through the back side of the body before you fold in. And we'll take a few breaths here. Just notice how your body feels in the pose. Breathe into the shape of it. If you are comfortably down on your forearms, or maybe even all the way down to the floor, slowly make your way back up to your hands, but leave your legs right where they are. And from here, we're going to plant down through the right hand. Inhale, sweep open to the left. And maybe this is where you stay, or if it feels okay and really comfortable, you might take that top hand, sweep it around to your low back, maybe reach down for the toes. And don't worry about reaching the toes. You can just bring the hand to the low back and get a nice twist. On your next inhale, sweep the left hand back up and over and return it to the mat. From here, we're going to step back to all fours. Heart melting pose. So bring your hips right over your knees, and you can just kind of use your hands to help find that place. And then walk your hands out in front. Keeping your arms long, let your forehead, your chin, or your chest come to the mat. Tops of the feet press into the mat. And if this is not a comfortable position, don't hesitate to just cross the arms and to rest on the arms. Or maybe even take a child's pose if that's a better direction for your spine. Wherever you are, try to just let go. Try to let your heart melt down. And with your next inhale, begin to draw the hands back in underneath the shoulders. Let's balance that out with a cat pose. So tuck the tailbone down, roll through the spine. Come back to neutral, tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. High, maybe pedaling the heels a little bit if you need to. Top of the mat, walk, step, maybe float. Coming into forward fold. Inhale, gazing. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse. Coming all the way up on the exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, reach it high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, rise high. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, gazing. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back. And exhale, settle into your lunge. Make sure your feet are hip width distance apart from each other. Then inhale, lengthen the front leg. Exhale, sink back in. Plant the left hand down. Inhale, sweep open to the right. Exhale, unwind. We're going to come in once again. Make any adjustments that you need, and then inhale, sweep back open. And then we're going to reverse the pose. So take the top hand, reach it behind, bring the front hand up and over. Get a nice open sensation to the front side of the body. And then exhale. We're going to cartwheel the arms around and come to warrior two. From warrior two. Taking a moment to settle in, relaxing the shoulders, engaging the core. And I'm going to turn just slightly off to the side here. Let's pair a little movement with breath. Turn your palms over to the ceiling. Inhale, gather it up. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, bringing it up. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reaching the right hand forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Again, just an easy one. And then reverse it. Inhale, sweep the bottom hand up and over the top. Exhale, come back. Maybe a little deeper this time. Inhale, bring it up. And one more time. And this time we'll hold it at the bottom for a few breaths. Your expression of triangle pose. And then we're going to slowly add the bend back in the front knee, bringing your hand to the floor. And we're going to walk the hand out in front, drawing the back foot in just a little bit, and we're going to move to our half moon. So begin to lift or not lift, rolling the hips open, and I'm just going to change to the side here. And if you fall over, it's okay, especially if you're on the grass. But coming in, finding your place, you can take the top hand up and over the shoulder if you like. Balance is not going to be my thing today. That's okay. Every day is different. This is the perfect example. Finding your half moon, maybe tapping down, maybe staying upright. If it feels good, see if you can roll that top hip open wherever you are. Give it just another breath. And then we're going to move back to our warrior two by softening the front knee and coming right back to warrior two. From here, inhale, reach it forward, take it up and over, reverse warrior. Exhale, sink into the front knee bend. Inhale, reach up high through the fingertips. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Lift the back heel and sweep that right foot over behind the left hand. And I'm going to turn around once again and lower down. Nice flex in the front foot. And from here, feel free to stay up high. Feel free to work down low. It's completely up to you and where you want to be today. But we'll take a few breaths here. Just notice how the side of your body feels in pigeon. Our bodies naturally have some imbalances where one side might be a little more open than the other. And wherever you are in the pose, leaving the lower half of your body, make your way back up to your hands. Plant the left hand down. Inhale, sweep open to the right. Stay right here or take that right hand down behind you, maybe reaching for the toes, maybe just bringing it to the low back, and look back over the right shoulder. With your next inhale, sweep that arm back up overhead, and exhale, return it to the mat. From here, we're going to step back to all fours. So just sweep that foot back, take a couple cat-cows. Just kind of resetting the spine. And then we're going to sweep our feet around to the front of the mat. We're going to take bound angle pose. So for bound angle pose or butterfly pose, just draw your feet in as far as they want to come naturally. And then let your hands come to rest on your feet. Or thumbs to the balls of the feet, fingertips to the top, and then lengthen your spine. And if right away you're thinking this is really uncomfortable, you can separate the feet out a little further, or you can bring your hands to your shins. It all kind of depends on the proportions of your body. From here, sit up as nice and tall as you can. Then exhale, gently let your chin drop down to your chest. Then lifting your gaze, we're going to reach the chest forward and just fold in a little bit. And maybe it's not far, maybe it's really deep. You can curve through the spine, you can do whatever you want to let it feel good. Or maybe you'd prefer to bring your forearms to your thighs and let the hips open a little bit further. So your choice for 3 breaths. And then we're going to draw the knees in together and just bring them out in front of you and allow them to rock side to side for just a moment. The next pose we're going to move into is more of a yin pose, just because it feels good. So we're going to take banana pose, and I'm going to stand up to demonstrate this because I think it's hard to see if I'm lying down and you're trying to watch on video. So you are going to go ahead and work your way all the way down to the mat. And I want you to sweep your arms up over your head, but they are still touching the floor. Feet in one direction, arms in the other, hands in the other. And then slowly walk your hands over to the left side. And your arms can stay long or you can cross them, whatever feels good. And from here, you're going to slowly walk your feet. Okay, that's a little hard to demo standing. You're going to walk your feet over to the same side. So you're getting a nice arch or a crescent shape through the body, just like a banana. So holding it in this shape, rest your eyes, close them, soften them, and just begin to take a few breaths, feeling the openness through the side of your body. And after a couple breaths, if you want to deepen the intensity, you might want to cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Maybe not. But just think about breathing in from fingertips down to the tips of your toes. That breath traveling that whole side body line. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And then to come out of the pose, begin with your legs. Uncross that right leg if it was crossed over the left, and then slowly walk your feet back to the middle, and then draw your hands back as well. And just take a moment in the center just to kind of see how things feel, noticing the difference in the left and the right sides of your body. And then we're going to move over to the other side, and I'll do this one with you. So just from where you are, begin with the arms, walking them a little bit over to the left. Your shoulders can follow, or sorry, the right. And then stepping the legs over as well. Taking a few breaths here. Finding that place of first sensation. And then you can always make it more intense if you'd like, by maybe crossing that left ankle over the right. Breathe into the side body. Let your breath lengthen it out. And then slowly release it, making your way back to the center. And coming back to the center, draw your knees into your chest. So just bring them in close. And we're going to take happy baby pose. So for happy baby pose, you can bring 2 fingers to the big toes or maybe hands to the outside of the feet. And we're just going to let the weight of our arms draw our legs to the sides of our body. Soles of the feet are pressing up towards the ceiling. And if you want to, you can rock side to side. And then coming back to a little stillness, draw the knees back into your chest and take a few circles in one direction and then in the other. And if there's anything else you need for your practice, please feel free to take that liberty. Otherwise, go ahead and gently set your feet down on the mat and slide them away from your body. Take a really deep inhale. And then with your exhale, roll your palms open to the ceiling. Let your shoulders relax down to the earth. And take a moment to really notice how your body feels. Feel the warmth of your practice as it swirls around you. And then let go. Let go of any thoughts, let go of your breath, let go of your practice, and simply enjoy the stillness for the last couple of moments. Thank you all for joining me today. Namaste.